If the diameter of a circle is 18 feet, that means that the radius has to be half of it, 9. Radius of a circle is 4 meters. Draw and determine the area. Here's the drawing that I would use. Circle with a radius of 4. To find the area, I have pi times 4 squared. If you want to write it as 16 pi, you can. If not, you can just throw it in your calculator and get 50.265. Radius of a semicircle is 10 feet. Well, semicircle formula, still have the pi times r squared. R is 10. But you got to make sure that you're dividing by 2 at the end. You would get 100 pi divided by 2, 157.079. Diameter of a circle is 60 centimeters. Draw and determine the circumference. Diameter is 60. For circumference, we have 2 different options. We have 2 pi times the radius. Your radius would be 30. You also have pi times the diameter, which is 60. So if you choose 2 pi r, you're just going to have 60 pi. If you choose pi times diameter, you're just going to have 60 pi. Both of them are 188.495. You get the same thing regardless. The radius of a semicircle is 19 inches. Semicircle and perimeter is where we just need to be a little careful. In order to find the length of this curved part, I have to find half the circumference of a circle with a radius of 19. So we would say 2 pi times the radius divided by 2. But unfortunately, we're not done. You find the curved portion, but then you need to add the diameter. Don't just add 19. 19 is not your diameter. You need to add 38. 38 is your entire diameter. Curved part, radius, and then another radius. So you need the diameter. You get 97.690. The last 2 problems, we're working backwards here. Area of a circle is 153.938. Your area formula is pi times r squared. I divide both sides by pi. I get, let's see, I want to say it's 48.999 is equal to r squared. If you said 49 is equal to r squared, that's fine as long as you're showing your work. Now to get r by itself, right, I started by getting r squared by itself. Now I have to take the square root of both sides, and I get that my radius is 7. However, we're asked to find the diameter. You just double it. You either get 13.998 or 14, just depending on what you use. Circumference of a circle is 175, change color, 175.929. I have 2 formulas I can use, but since I'm just finding the radius, I'm just going to use 2 pi times the radius. I want to get r by itself. I have to move 2 pi. I have to get rid of 2 pi. If you just divided by pi, that's fine, but then you're going to have a separate step where you're just going to divide by 2. Instead, I can get both of those out in one step by just dividing by 2 pi. Here we get 27.999, which is pretty much just 28. So I have no issue with you saying that the radius is 28 as long as you show some of that work. Here we have our 3 composite shapes, and I am going to go through these a little quicker considering we've seen so many of these. I have the area of my semicircle, that looks like a triangle, area of my semicircle, and then I need to add the area of my square. Area of my semicircle, I have pi times 4 squared divided by 2. For the area of my square, Well, I know that I'm just going to have 8 times 8, which is just 8 squared. And I'm not just guessing that this is a square. I know that since the radius of that circle is 4, well, this distance right here is going to be 4, and that distance right there is going to be 4, which means that your base is 8. So I have an 8 by 8 square, and then I have a semicircle with a radius of 4. Should get 89.133 meters squared. For the second one here, I have the area of my semicircle, and I have the area of my triangle. My semicircle has a radius of 7, pi times 7 squared divided by 2. But for my triangle, I don't have a base. Well, not yet. I know that the radius of this circle is 7. That means that this distance right here is also 7. That one's also going to be 7. And we have our entire base of 14. 14 times 11 divided by 2. That adds up to 153.969 centimeters squared. I have the area of my semicircle, and I have the area of this rectangle. Semicircle would be pi times 7 squared divided by 2. And my rectangle, good thing is, I have both dimensions. I don't need to guess here, right? My base is 24, and my height is 18. Add those together, 508.969. Composite shapes. We're adding the areas together. There's not a clear gap. I'm not subtracting anything out. For shaded area, I need to subtract a shape out. I have a larger shape, in this case, my triangle, and I need to subtract the area of that circle. The area of my triangle would be base times height, 20 times 20, divided by 2. The area of my circle is going to be pi times 6 squared. Notice I'm not dividing that by 2 because I'm finding the area of this entire circle, not a semicircle. Subtract, and I get 86.902. For problem 12, my larger shape is a circle, my smaller shape is my triangle. My radius is 10, so I have pi times 10 squared. The area of my triangle, well, that's going to be 10, that's going to be 10. My base is 20. My height is also just another radius. That's going to be 10, so 20 times 10 divided by 2. Should get me 214.159. And then lastly, we have the area of our rectangle, and we're subtracting the area of our circle. Our rectangle is a 51 by 54 rectangle. We're subtracting pi times 18 squared, pi times radius squared. That should get me 1,736.124 inches squared.